Jon Jones and his two brothers, Chandler and Arthur, have all definitely left their mark in the world of sports, but behind their athletic success lies a tale of mental health struggles, legal issues, and family turmoil. Jon Jones is arguably the best MMA fighter, longest reigning UFC champion of all time. Chandler and Arthur are both NFL stars, or were. Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at specifically Jon and Chandler Jones, who have a long history of criminal violations and mental health struggles, while the brother Arthur, as well as Jon, both have had their fair share of PED-related incidents. Jon Jones came into the UFC in his early 20s and went on to become the youngest UFC champion in history at 23 years old when he beat Mauricio Shogun Rua, a feat that will probably never be broken again. Along the way, he defeated absolute legends like Vitor Belfort, Daniel Cormier, Lyoto Machida, Alexander Gustafsson. The list goes on as to the stars and the legends that Jon Jones has beat. But his legal troubles have clouded his career. In 2012, he was arrested for a DUI after crashing his Bentley. In 2015, he had the infamous hit and run incident that led to felony charges where he was drunk driving, T-boned a pregnant lady, broke her arm, fled the scene on foot, only to come back to get his weed and pipe out of the car before fleeing again. In 2019, battery charges involving a waitress, which I actually think was at a strip club. In 2020, he was arrested for aggravated DWI and firearm possession. In 2021, domestic violence charges involving his fiance after his Hall of Fame induction. In 2024, a confrontation with a drug testing agent that led to misdemeanor charges. And of course, most recently in February 2025, he allegedly was drinking and driving and crashed a woman's car who was naked from the waist down, fled on foot, and actually went live on Instagram and threatened the lives of police officers that were at the scene assisting the woman. He was officially charged in June of this year, the same day that he retired, actually. Now, Jon Jones also has a long history of anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. He definitely has made multiple public statements acknowledging his mental health challenges. Now, my speculation about CTE affecting his erratic behavior comes from his extensive combat sports career and Jon Jones being quoted himself as saying, "I used to leave the gym with headaches." There's plenty of other fighters that have taken a lot of hits to the head. Although Jon Jones has never been knocked out, he has been hit a lot. And we've seen what happens to fighters that get hit a lot over the course of their career. Tony Ferguson, BJ Penn. The long-term story is very, very sad. Now, Chandler Jones, who is Jon Jones's brother, was a Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots and has had a litany of criminal charges and mental health issues. In September of 2023, he posted a 25-minute-long Instagram live video where he cried while discussing former teammate Aaron Hernandez and made wild accusations about the Raiders coach, Josh McDaniels. He also claims that he was hospitalized against his will by the Las Vegas Fire Department. He was also arrested in September of 2023 on 2 counts of violating a protection order. Now, there was obviously sibling rivalries growing up. They've talked about not having the best life growing up, but both of their parents were present and their dad is like a preacher or a pastor or something like that. It's all like semi-solid foundation for them to be stand-up adults, but they've become criminal, drug abusing, PED abusing, mentally ill adults. And it makes me think that all 3 of the Jones brothers, well, at least 2 of them, Jon and Chandler, suffer severely from CTE, one from playing football and one from being in MMA. Now, the forgotten brother is Arthur Jones, who is a Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens, but he was suspended for 4 games in 2016 due to a PED violation. He's the oldest brother. His experiences, he may have set a bad example for Jon and Chandler. I don't know the family dynamic in that regard. But in regards to CTE, which I think 2 out of these 3 brothers, potentially all 3 have. Now, I want to make something clear though. This is not a ha-ha, Jon Jones has CTE, Chandler Jones has CTE. This is a serious spotlight being put on a family of top tier athletes that all may be permanently compromised emotionally, mentally, happiness, anxiety, drug problems, all of that, and be a danger to other people because of how much they got hit in the head during their sports career. Now, CTE is short for chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is a progressive brain disease thought to be caused by repeated head injuries. It's characterized as the degeneration of brain tissue and can lead to various neurological and psychological symptoms. While CTE is primarily associated with contact sports and military service, anyone with a history of repeated head trauma is at risk. And the cause is stated to come from contact sports like boxing, football, rugby, or military combat. Now, the symptoms can include memory problems, confusion, mood swings, aggression, depression, and even difficulties with thinking or judgment. And they tend to appear years or even decades after the head injuries themselves took place. So it makes sense that Jon Jones, Chandler Jones, later in their career are now suffering from CTE suffered at the beginning of their career. A lot of hard sparring for Jon Jones, a lot of head-on-head contact in his early football days for Chandler Jones. This can affect mental health, performance, decision-making, obviously, and there's definitely a stigma around mental health in the athletic community because most people want to shut up about it. Now, Jon Jones has been pretty outspoken about it, but I have to wonder, would he even have to deal with this if he hadn't had so many sparring sessions that were way too hard? Football would have taken measures to protect their athletes sooner, like they do now. Now, the broad implications of this for the Jones is that they're all incredibly impressive, dominant, superstar athletes with insane achievements. And those athletic achievements, like Jon Jones essentially being the best fighter of all time or one of the best fighters of all time, is overshadowed by things they did because of mental health issues and poor decision making. And that also changes like the public perception because many people turned on Jon Jones over the years. There were so many incidents. Of course, he still has fans, a lot of fans, but this has cost him fans. This has cost him sponsorship deals. This has cost him his family for periods of time. I can only wonder if the poor decision-making, mental health issues of the Jones brothers are because of being hit in the head, or if it's something that is genetic. Does depression run in their family, or mental health issues run in their family, something like that. And I know that I'm mostly a fuck Jon Jones type of channel, as you guys know me, because he beats his wife allegedly, he crashes cars. He's literally the most intolerable person I can think of off the top of my head in regards to MMA. But at the same time, when you think about these things, you have to have a little bit of sympathy for the position that he's in, because he did sacrifice his health and reputation essentially for our entertainment. Same with Chandler Jones. Playing football. Does the industry like NFL or MMA/UFC have a responsibility to address these things? Probably. The NFL already has. They have pension plans, insurance plans, retirement plans, but MMA is a vastly different landscape. And somebody like Jon Jones is lucky that he's sitting on probably $100 million and he's not going to end up on the street most likely. But a lot of fighters do. A lot of fighters are in very, very bad shape mentally with substance abuse, depression, anxiety, CTE, and they don't have anything to show for the career that they took all this damage to do. They don't have anything to show money-wise, belts, achievements, glory, nothing. Just that they know they're tough because they fought for a long time. To recap, the Jones story is a sad one and a very happy one because they do have a lot of achievements, but those achievements have been overshadowed by criminal problems, legal problems, mental health issues, public bad decisions that they've made. It makes you wonder, I mean, their legacy as athletes versus like the complex stories, I guess you could say, about who they are as people. Now, I want to know your guys' thoughts down below. What are your general thoughts about CTE and brain damage in mostly MMA or UFC or boxing, because that's what this channel is. It's a combat sports channel, but in football too. I mean, what do you guys think the role is? Because it's something that we don't talk about that much. We just know that it's bad for your brain to get hit in the head. We hear fighters say, oh, I'm giving brain cells for your entertainment. What is there to be done? Should something be done? Will something ever be done? Because although Jon Jones is a bad person that has done bad things to many people in and out of the cage, you know what I'm saying? It is something of a sad story because that mental state is very much likely to be a product of the damage he's taken in the cage. So let me know your thoughts down below. I'm Wyatt. This is Fight Society. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week along with behind the scenes content, and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.